Shalom, inshallah, shalom, shalom. All right, the mic is on. All right. Wa Kakadash, Atasma Kabak Baim Esquire, Wa Kwam Inshallah, Habatam Makim, Wa Akwa. Hey man, we back at it with another video through the spirit and power of Bashim Al Shai. This is Sirach series. Let's get into it, chapter 10. A wise judge will instruct his people and govern the prudent man. And the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Let's go to the definition of prudent, man. Right? Let's go to the definition of prudent. All right, I want to get one that's in the same context. Let's go Proverbs 12 and 23. It's a prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness, man. So the context clues, brothers and sisters should know what the word prudent means. All right, but let's get it. It says subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudent, man. So it means to be righteously crafty, man. Righteously crafty and righteously sensible, man. It says a wise judge will instruct his people and govern and the government of a prudent man is well ordered, right? So it takes amount of wisdom and takes a certain amount of craftiness to be able to have a well ordered, man, government. You understand that? It says, as the judgment of the people is himself, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are they that dwell therein. Right. So, man, as your leader is, as your king is, as your judge is, that's the same way the people under that man is gonna be, man. That's just how it is. You understand that? As the leader is, as the judge is, as the king is, the officers gonna be like that, the soldiers gonna be like that, the citizens gonna be like that, right? The civilians gonna be like that, man. That's just how it goes, right? And when it says, read on. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through much prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited, right? Because when you're unwise, that's when you destroy your people, right? I want to go to 2 Chronicles 28, but I want a specific verse, right? 2 Chronicles. It's all good. Let's just go to 2 Chronicles 28, man. 2 Chronicles chapter 28, and let's go down to verse number 21. Right, 2 Chronicles 28 and 21. It says, for Ahaz took away a portion out of the house of the Lord and out of the house of the king and of the princes, and gave it to the king of Assyria, but helped him not. And in the time of his distress did he trespass yet more against the Lord. This is that King Ahaz. For he sacrificed unto the gods of Damascus, which smote him, and he said, because the gods of the king of Syria helped them, therefore will I sacrifice to them, that they may help me. But they were the ruin of him and of all Israel. You understand that? So Ahaz, he saw how the gods of these other nations was so-called working for them. So-called. Because the only one and true God is Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? He so-called saw the power that they were reverencing and how they was working for them, so-called. And he decided to go and follow their ways. Right? That's what it means. Because if he's sacrificing to their gods, that's their rituals. That's their practices. Right? Now, in respect to Sirach chapter 10, it says an unwise king destroyed his people, man. Right? So just like today, if you're a king or if you're a judge or if you're a ruler of any people, you choosing the ways of the world, you choosing the ways of the so-called white man, or you choosing your own ways over top of the Lord and sacrificing unto these false gods. That's you being unwise, right? That's you being that's you not being prudent, right? That's how that goes, man. That's a similitude to Ahaz sacrificing unto the gods of these nations is similar to how judges and kings of today's world, right, will go and do their own thing and not justify their actions based off of the precepts, man. Right? When you have anybody in today's society, right, they go and they choose the white man's ideologies and philosophies. That's what they do, right? Because that's that do without wilt spirit. That's what they do, man. All right, let's read on. It says, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, And in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable, man. So in due time, the Lord who controls everything, right, will set over the nation a man that is actually profitable, man. Right? Not a man gonna set over a man. It's the Lord that has the power that will set over a man. Right? Because at the end of the day, the Lord is our head. That's just what it is. The Lord is our head, right? It says, in the hand of God is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor, man. Right? So the God is the one, the Most High God is the one who allows man to prosper, right? Who allows men to fall, right? Who controls men's actions is the Most High God. You understand that? It's not up to men, right? It says, bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. Right? So every time your brother go off, here it is, you trying to rebuke that brother. You trying to rebuke that brother every time he go wrong, man. Right? The Lord said, be not a hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong. As soon as you and your brother have an ought, you got to rebuke that brother. You yelling, you mad, you angry, whatever it is, right? You laying hatred in your heart as soon as your brother have one wrong, man. Right? The Lord said, bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong. Because at the end of the day, everybody's going to go off. Everybody's going to have a situation where they can't see eye to eye. Everybody's going to have a situation where there's a disagreement, man. But the Lord said, bear not hatred toward thy neighbor. That's the point of the whole gospel. It's to love thy neighbor. That's what the Lord said. It says, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. What's injurious practices? Contention. What's injurious practices? Man, you showing up to a brother's house, man. You understand that? Injurious practices is you getting mad at your brother every time he go off, right? And not showing mercy. Injurious practices is not showing mercy. Injurious practices is not being wise, man. You understand that? Injurious practices is being prideful. It says pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doeth one commit iniquity, right? So pride is sin at the end of the day. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injurious, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such as one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels, man. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 24, right? Let's go to 1 Peter 1 and 24. It says, for all flesh is as grass, and all the glory of man is the flower of grass. The grass withereth, and the flower thereof falleth away. But the word of the Lord endureth forever. And this is the word this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you, man. Right? So as a man or a woman, right, your life is as the grass. The grass, it comes up in its due season, and it's nice and green. It's vibrant. It got water on it, right? You got your morning dew on the grass. It's fulfilling this office. But guess what? That fall and that winter time comes where it's that time for it. It's just time for him to check out, man. It's time for you to check out, right? And nobody knows when it's time for whoever to check out, man. You understand that? That's just how it goes. The Lord said, why is earth and ashes proud? Meaning you're nothing, man. You're just nothing. You're just a mortal body on the earth, right? You used to fulfill a certain time period, fulfill a certain slot, fulfill a certain lot, right? And in the which the Most High chose you. You understand that? It says, the physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. Meaning you can be in a high standard today, tomorrow you're gonna be nothing, man. Tomorrow you can be cast into utter darkness, man. The Most High don't care about what type of authoritative position or what type of whatever you are, right? You can be overthrown utterly. You understand that? You can die tomorrow, even if whatever you are. And this is all if you're being unwise, right? This is all if you're being prideful, right? This is all if you're using injurious practices, man, right? It says, Salakia. It says, Salakia. It says, it says the physician cut off of a long disease, right? It says, for when a man is dead, he shall inherit creepy things, beasts, and worms. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from God, and his heart is turned away from his maker. Why? Because pride is when you choose your own mindset. Pride is when you choose your own feelings, is when you choose your own thoughts over the precepts. We just read in Sirach chapter 7, verse 5, right? You can't justify yourself before the Lord. And we went to Luke 16 and 15, right? Men justify themselves before men. And that is pride, right? That's the beginning of sin. You understand that? That's when you depart from the Most High, right? That's when you cast the spirit of the Lord. You cast the words of the Lord behind you, man. Because you can't justify your actions by the precepts. You just doing whatever you think is right. You just doing whatever you feel is right, man. Right? And you departed from God. Right? Your heart is turned away from his maker. Your heart is your mind. Meaning your mind is not even thinking about, am I applying this precept? Okay, what precept is justifying my thoughts? What precept is justifying my actions right now, man? Right? It says, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Right? Because pride is the beginning of sin. Because why? Because you departed from the Most High, and that's a sin. It says, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. Meaning what? All this stuff that's stored up in your mind, you're just going to pour it out through your actions. And it's all going to be abominations. Your words, whatever you're doing. You understand that? All of that is abomination. And we know the Lord hate abomination. Right? It says, and therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities. A strange calamity is not just your average death. You didn't just have a stroke out of nowhere. That's not a strange calamity. Right? That happens to people on a day-to-day basis. You didn't just get colon cancer. You didn't just get kidney disease, gout. You understand that? This a strange calamity is being what? It says, and overthrew them utterly, man. Meaning it was brought before the whole world, man. The whole world heard about it. You understand that? Everybody didn't heard about it. Everybody talking about it. It's a strange calamity that's being overthrown utterly. Because in context of this chapter, this is talking about a man as a high regard. This is talking about a man, you understand that's a judge, that's our king, right? So if you have these positions, you understand that, of authority or whatever it may be, you got to be wise. Because the Lord will get you out of there, man. It says the Lord hath cast down the thrones of proud princes, right? It says, and set up the meek in their stead. Let's get the definition of meek, man. Because we all know what the word meek means. Let's get the definition, man. All right. It says, we can use number 12 and 3. It says, now the man Moses was very meek above all men which are upon the face of the earth. Right. So he was more meek than anybody. Right. But what does this word meek mean? Right. Yet this definition means poor, humble, afflicted, meek, poor, needy, poor and weak, poor, weak, afflicted, humble, lowly, meek. Right. That's what this word meek means. You understand that? And the Lord said, he said he will cast down the thrones of these proud princes and set up the meek. So that brother that's lowly and he's in need, right? He's going to be the one that's going to be set to rule over the people. Why? Because a brother that knows that he needs other brothers, he's going to be the one that knows how to order in wisdom, right? Because verse 1 says what? The government of a prudent man is well ordered, man. Is well ordered. So at the end of the day, a proud prince, he's justifying himself. He's in all matter of pride. You understand that? He don't know what's going on. He's departed from the Most High. But that brother that's low, he needs the Most High. He needs his brothers. She needs the sisterhood. Whatever it may be. You understand that? These men that are lowly and they understand that they need the men around them. Right? Because the Lord said what? The first shall be last and the last shall be first, man. That's the meek. Right, that's the lowly at the end of the day. All right, let's get this precept in Matthew chapter 19, verse 30. But many that are first, many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first, man. That's the meek. That's the lowly that the Lord wants to be in that position of judgment. Right, the Lord, he wants him to be in a position of authoritativeship. Right, he wants him to be the king over people, not the man And I feel like he can do it all on his own, right? The definition of meek is a man that is in need. He's afflicted, right? It says the Lord had plucked up the roots of proud nations and planted the lowly in their place, right? Planted to lowly in their place, right? And the Lord said plant. It says roots of proud nations, man. Right? Who's promised the kingdom? It's us. Now look at our people. Like, let's set aside the sin. Let's set aside the iniquities. Look at the economical and the financial, right, knowledge that our people do not have. Our people don't even know who we are. Our people have zero understanding. We kind of just here in America, right? But yet the Lord did what? He promised us the kingdom, man. And look at our position as a nation. And look at Esau. He has the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of this world, right? More than Daniel. You understand that? But yet, we're still promised the kingdom that's going to be better than his. So how much more that prince, how much more that king, how much more that judge, how much more that leader who don't know what's going on, but guess what? He got some amount of wisdom. He got a little something. He got a little something, right? Because these nations, right? These nations are in a point of authoritativeship, right? If that's a word. But guess what? The lowly is gonna reign in their place, man. So he's gonna be overthrown utterly. It says the Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. He took some of them away and destroyed them and hath made their memorial to cease from the earth. It says pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman. Meaning you're not going to get the kingdom if you're dibbling, dabbling in pride, right? Pride was not made for men. That should let you know that pride is not even going to be a thing amongst the Israelites in the kingdom, right? It says they that fear the Lord are a sure seed, and they that love him an honorable plant. They that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed. They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed, man. Right? Because you're transgressing the commandments, you're deceivable. Right? You're being a damn devil. Right? And remember, you got to keep in context this chapter. It's talking about men in leadership, princes, judges, kings. Because you're supposed to know, like I just said in verse number 15. Verse number 14, right? Well, yeah, verse number 15. It says the Lord had plucked up proud nations. Right now, the nation that's over us has the wisdom, right? They have knowledge of the commandments. But guess what? They maneuver their ways around it, and they transgress these things, right? That's why these men are a deceivable seed, right? It says, among brethren, he that is chief is honorable. So are they that fear the Lord in his eyes. Let's get an example. Let's go to 2 Samuel 23:2, right? Let's go to the book of 2 Samuel chapter 23 and verse number 2, right? It says, the Spirit of the Lord spake by me, and his word was in my tongue. Not Samuel's own word, right? No, Salaki, not David's own, Salaki. I meant to say not David's own word. It says the Lord's word was in his tongue, right? The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me, he that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of God, man. And remember, we already read in Sirach, this prideful man, he don't fear God. He fear himself. He fear himself, man. Because remember, the Lord said the beginning of pride is when one depart from God, man. You understand that? So let's read on. It says, Salaki. It says, the fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority. Right? The fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority. But roughness and pride is the losing thereof. Right? So when you fearing the Most High, you have to understand and know that before you can earn any amount of authority. Right? A part of earning authority is understanding that you as a man, you're nothing, man. You're just another Israelite trying to keep the commandments, man. Before you can get any type of authority. It says, but roughness and pride is the losing thereof. Right? Because you didn't understand how to get down with the fear of the Lord. to understand that he's everybody's head, right? The Lord is everybody's head, and we're just men, right? We're just men, but the Lord is the head of everybody, but you were prideful and rough, so you lost it, man. It says, whether he be rich, noble, or poor, their glory is the fear of the Lord, right? It says their glory is the fear of the Lord. It says, Salaki, their glory is the fear of the Lord. Salaki, I lost my spot. Right? It says, it is not meet to despise the poor man that hath understanding. Neither is it convenient to magnify a sinful man. Right? So it's not beneficial to just ignore a man that's poor, man. Right? It's not beneficial to ignore him. Right? Help that brother out. But guess what? It's definitely not convenient to uplift or support a sinful man, man. Right, so that man that's poor, lowly, needy, which is really meek, he got understanding, right? It's not meek to leave that brother alone. But guess what? It's definitely not expedient to magnify a man that's full of pride, right? He's not wise, and right, and he's just proud, right? That's the context of this chapter. It's not meet. It's not expedient to lift that brother up. Lift up that brother that's poor. He got the understanding. He's not prideful, right? He knows how to how to deal amongst men, right? Because remember, the Lord said these men that's needy and lowly and meek, those are going to be the ones that's lifted up, not the man, right? Not the man that what? Not the man that is just sinful, right? It says great men and judges and punishes, right? The word punishes means to be a ruler, right? Or to be a monarch, right? It says shall be honored. Yet is there none of them greater than he that feareth the Lord, right? Because what the chapter is going into is being meek, man. Being meek and fearing the Lord. Being meek and in an authoritative position, right? And fearing the Lord. That man is going to be greater than that man that's prideful. He esteeming himself, right? He don't go based off of the precepts. He go based off of what he want to go by, man, right? It says, unto the servant that is wise shall they that, it's like it. It says, unto the servant that is wise shall they that are free do service. And he that hath knowledge will not grudge when he is reformed. Let's read that again. It says, unto the servant that is wise shall they that are free do service. And he that hath knowledge will not grudge when he is reformed. But be not overwise in thy business, and boast not thyself in the time of thy distress. Let's go to Romans 12 and 11, man. Romans 12 and 11. Don't be over. Let's read that again. It says, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. It says, distributing the necessity of saints, given to hospitality, right? Distributing the necessities of saints and giving into hospitality is the exact opposite of what? Of being proud, man. Let's go back to the book of Sirach, chapter 10, and let's read that one more time. It says, don't be over, what does it say? Don't be over, Salaki, what's the word? Don't be over, wise in the doing of thy business. Meaning, focus on not even traditional, focus on the basic, common, right, statutes, guidelines, right, and outlook perspective that we have that we should be conducting ourselves with. Don't be over wise, meaning you trying to get so deep into it, right, and you trying to understand this and understand that, but really the milk is being fervent in spirit, right, not slothful in business, right, and giving the necessity to the saints is the qualities that this man that is in leadership should have. You understand that? Not being over wise, man. You just trying to do too much. Over wise is gonna lead to men being overthrown, right? It says, and boast not thyself in the time of thy distress, right? You might be catching hell. Don't boast because you catching hell. Now, understanding glorying in tribulation and boasting when you catching hell is two different things, man. You might be going through something. You might be going through a hardship, going through some tough times. Select it. You're happy when these things come about. Doesn't mean you're out and you posted it on social media like, damn, I was on the highway and something happened and my car flipped over the bridge, it skipped over 5 lanes, and my pinky toes is broken. I might not be able to walk no more. All praise to the Most High. Right? The Lord said what? The Lord said, it's like I keep losing my position. The Lord said, do and boast not thyself in the time of thy distress. Right? Glorying when these things come is understanding when you getting tried and you going through that fiery furnace. All praises to the Most High. Right? Not saying all praise to the Most High and just letting it be known. Don't boast it, man. Don't boast just because the Most High might be dealing with you with chastisement or with judgment. All right? Don't boast of these things because at the end of the day, you're getting chastised, man. Don't be a fool. Right, here it is. You can't pay your rent. Right, your wife left you. You have nothing to support yourself. All praise to the Most High, man. Brothers got to know what's going on, man. You understand that? Don't boast in the times of thy distress, man. It says, better is he that laboreth and aboundeth in all things than he that boasteth himself and wanteth bread. My son, glorify thy soul in meekness and give it honor according to the dignity thereof. This is how, Slucky, it says, my son, glorify thy soul in meekness and give it to honor according to the dignity thereof. This is how you are a judge, a righteous king. You understand that? A righteous prince of the Most High God, right? You glorify your soul in meekness, meaning Moses, people know who Moses was. But yet you didn't see Moses trying to usurp authority over other men just because he was Moses. You understand that? Moses was meek, right? Let's go to that in the book of Numbers. I want to get 2 precepts. Let's go to that in the book of Numbers, right? Chapter 9. And let's go to verse number 7. This is Numbers chapter 9 and verse number 7. It says, and those men said unto him, we are defiled by dead body of man, wherefore we are kept back, that we may not offer an offering of the Lord in his appointed season amongst the children of Israel. Right, so this man, he came up to Moses because he was defiled by a dead body. He couldn't keep the Passover correctly. Right? The Most High, Yahushua, gave Moses the ordinances for the Passover to a T. Right, and this man, he came up to him, he said something. And the Lord didn't really address that at that particular time. And what Moses said? And Moses said unto them, stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you. Moses told that man, hey, look, I'm going to get right back to you. Moses told that man, hey, hold up. Let me go meditate. Let me go pray to the Lord, and I'm going to come back to you. Moses didn't make up some nonsense and just say something because he don't want to say no. He don't want to be made seem like he don't know the answer. That is meekness right there that Moses demonstrated. Right? Moses is the top man. He's supposed to have all of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The Lord is dealing with Moses face to face. Yet he said, stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you, man. I mean, like, hold on, brother. Let me get back to you. Let me check in with the Lord before I come, you know what I'm saying, before we can move on. Let me check in with the Lord before we can do this. Let me pray about it. Let me go and fast real fast, and the Lord gonna bring it out, man. That's meekness. Not just making something up, knowing that brother's salvation is dependent on your answer. You understand that? Just so you can be seen like something. Right? This is Moses, man. The whole nation is following after Moses, man. Let's go back to the book of Sirach, chapter 10. Right? That's meekness. That's meekness, right? Not trying to flabbergast and make up nonsense, man. He said, hold up, I'm gonna get right back to you. Now let's go back to the book of Sirach, chapter 10. It says, glorify thy soul in meekness, man. It says, who will justify him that sinneth against his own soul? And who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life? Right? Because who's gonna justify a man who don't want to be justified by the look? Because you gotta understand, man. It says who sinneth against his own soul. If you sin against your own soul, that already lets you know you're not justified by the Lord. Because sin is never justified by the Lord. The Lord never said The Lord never gave us license to sin. None of that, right? The Lord never justified any man to go off, right? Period. So he's not justified by the Lord. Who else is going to justify this man, right? It says, who will justify him that sinneth against his own soul? If he's not justified by the Lord, who's going to justify a man at the end of the day? It's only going to be more wicked men to justify a wicked man, man. If he's not justified by the Lord, yet you got other men justifying him, those men are wicked as well. It says, and who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life? It says, the poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? Meaning, at the end of the day, what you stand for and what you push and what you believe in your mind and the man that you truly are, that's what you're going to be honored for. So in context of chapter 10, don't be prideful. Don't put yourself before the Most High God. Don't think whatever what's the word? Whatever agenda you got in your head is above whatever the words of the Lord might have. Because that's getting into self-justification, right? Before men and not before God. So you want to be lowly. You want to be meek. You want to be humble. You understand that? You want to understand the men and brothers that surround you. You need them. Because the Lord said the first shall be last and the last shall be first. The sisters that surround you, you need them, right? Stop being prideful and putting yourself before the Most High God and before your brothers and your sisters. And that's how you actually rule, right? That's how you actually assert your dominance in an authoritative position. You understand that? And that's Sirach chapter 10. And with that, come Yasha'Allah.